I guess it's a good thing that I'm going on vacation for the next few weeks and seeing my family because I think I just need a break from this Bulls team. I mean, when I saw that Giannis was going to be out tonight, I actually thought that may be a detriment to the Bulls because for some reason they always decide to play down to their competition whenever a team is without their best players. Not all the time, but we've seen it quite a few times this season. But then also knowing that the Bucks were coming off a back-to-back and a loss to one of the worst teams in the league in the Houston Rockets, I thought, okay, maybe the Bulls can pull out a win here and steal a win that we would otherwise likely have just chalked up or predicted to be a loss. But no, I should have known that the Bulls would do what they've been doing all season and just be one of the most inconsistent teams that I have seen in a very, very long time. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Bull Central here. Hope you're all doing well. Guys, I'm recording this on the evening after the loss to the Bucks, but uploading it tomorrow morning since, as I've mentioned, I'll be traveling all weekend and likely won't be able to upload videos. Also, because the game was a late start than usual, and because the Bulls had another disappointing loss, so I kind of assumed you guys wouldn't be interested in listening in on a Friday night after another bad loss for the Bulls. But guys, here we are. 9 games remaining in the season. The Bulls are taking on the Hawks tonight in a back-to-back, which I can't expect to be a positive game, especially now that Trae Young is back. Although the Hawks have been struggling recently as of late, they just played last night as well. But either way, 9 games left, the Bulls lose yet again. The Wizards also won last night, so the video that I uploaded yesterday in which I talked about the Bulls and their actual chances of making the playoffs, which was 4% at that time, well, you can expect that number to have to decrease significantly ever since then. Listen, I know Lavine is out, and that's obviously going to impact this team's overall success. And I'm sure their record would be a little bit better had Lavine never entered the health and safety protocol, but I honestly don't know if it would have made them that much better in terms of their overall record. Obviously, Troy Brown Jr. has continued to miss games, and he was a big piece, that was showing a lot of promise for the Bulls after they acquired him in that trade for the Wizards. And then, of course, Lauri Markkanen was also out tonight, so I know it's not like the Bulls were fully healthy tonight, but come on, the Bucks were without their best player, their back-to-back MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. I get it. They're still a good team even without him, but the Bulls have to show up better than they did, especially when the Bucks have been really poor on defense recently. I mean, they gave up 143 points to the Rockets last night, and the Bulls couldn't even crack 100 tonight. That's really bad. It was great to see that the Bulls, they went on a few runs here and there that they made throughout the game. I mean, initially, the way that the game had started out, it looked like this was going to be yet another blowout. But then they went on a 19-2 run in the second quarter to get right back into it. But of course, the Bucks bounced right back and stretched the lead to double digits. Then, even in the fourth quarter, the Bulls closed the gap to single digits with less than 5 minutes to play, but it just wasn't enough to take out this Bucks team. And really, the issue tonight for the Bulls was their shooting. I mean, the Bucks did play much better defense than they did last night, and the Bulls, they just missed a lot of wide open shots. They were 38% tonight from the floor, 30% from 3. I mean, you can do everything else right, and even if the opposing team is playing without their best player, you're not going to win games in today's NBA when you're shooting 38% from the field. The Bulls only had 10 turnovers too, so whenever the Bulls do something better at one area of their game that they've been lacking, then there is another area that suffers as a result. And a lot of the shooting struggle tonight was from Vucevic. I mean, he was crashing the boards like a beast as he usually does, but shooting 7 for 27 and 1 for 9 from 3. I mean, he could just not find his rhythm on offense, and that really crushed the Bulls tonight, given he's the Bulls' number 1 option right now with Lavine being out. He did have 17 points and 15 rebounds along with 4 assists, and didn't have a single turnover, so it was good to see. Coby White, although still not shooting that well, has still been putting up consistent outings. I mean, that is what I've been saying about Coby from the beginning of the season. Can we see Coby White play consistently well and progressing night in and night out? And really, ever since he's been inserted back into the starting lineup, he's improved his game quite a bit. Not necessarily his shooting, and he hasn't been as efficient as we want, or as we saw anyway at the beginning of the season from the field, but more so with his playmaking and court vision that has gotten significantly better since Lavine has been out, which has been great to see because that was sort of the major knock on on Coby is that he's not a true point guard and he plays much better off the ball, which I still think is true, but it's good to see him play the way that he has been most recently nonetheless. It shows that he does have the ability to learn this role if the Bulls need him to. Keep in mind, he's still only in his second season in the league. The guy has really strong work ethic, and I really do hope that he continues this type of play going forward. Coby had 21 points, was the only guy who actually shot the 3-ball well tonight, shooting 4 for 8 from deep, but was 6 for 15 overall from the field, but 7 assists to go along with those 21 points, which is what I'd like to see. It was good to see him also drawing more contact and getting to the line. Tice also had a nice game as well, efficient from the field, one of the few players who was decent from the field tonight. He had 16 points, 7 for 9 shooting to go along with 10 rebounds. It was good to see him have a little bit more of an active night after having an off night against the Knicks in the last game. And then Satoransky also had a decent game off the bench with 13 points on 6 for 7 shooting. Outside of that, not much else to really be excited about for this game tonight. I mean, Thaddeus Young had a really bad game, just seemed like he couldn't hit anything from the floor. You know, even simple hook shots or layups he couldn't knock down. Valentine, don't even get me started on him. It was good to see Aminu provide a little bit of a spark off the bench as he was back in the rotation tonight with Lauri Markkanen being out of the lineup. He didn't really do much on offense, but was quick and scrappy on the defensive end. Also, I just realized the Bulls shot 66% from the free throw line tonight. That's the second game in a row where they have shot really poorly from the line. Not sure, really would have made that huge of a difference in tonight's game or the last one, but either way, come on guys, hit your free throws. Easiest thing to do in basketball. Anyway, not a great game. I mean, it wasn't as bad as some of the other games that we've seen from the Bulls this season, but I was really hoping they would come out hungry and with a sense of urgency, knowing that Giannis was going to be out of the lineup, but right from the jump, the Bulls were just not engaged, not energized. It's a problem we've seen all season, and yes, a lot of that is on the players, but Billy Donovan has to be coaching these guys a bit harder and finding ways to motivate them more to get the best out of them. That's all I've got for now though, guys. Like I mentioned, I will be traveling to see my family for the next few weeks. I will still be uploading videos, but likely not as consistently as I have been, and since I'll be traveling most of tomorrow, I will not be having a live game chat for the game against the Hawks or a post-game video for it. Hopefully, somehow the Bulls will be able to pull off a win and then start off next week with a little bit of momentum, and hopefully we'll have some positive news on Zach Lavine making a return next week. Until then though, guys, have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. I appreciate all of the love and support on the channel recently. Be sure to subscribe if you like daily Bulls content. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one.